Mercedes is in turmoil. Russell resists, Rosberg warns, Wolff wavers, and Antonelli's future hangs by a thread. Inside the contracts, clashes, and chaos threatening to derail their 2026 F1 ambitions. Nico Rosberg isn't sold on the idea that George Russell needs a Max Verstappen clause. Even though Verstappen has publicly reaffirmed his commitment to Red Bull Racing through 2026, Russell's seat at Mercedes for next season is still unconfirmed. Speaking on Sky Sports F1, Rosberg was asked whether, if he were advising Russell in negotiations with team boss Toto Wolff, he would push for a contract clause, allowing Russell to leave if Verstappen joined. Russell still hasn't inked a new deal. Commentator David Croft even asked Rosberg if Russell should insert a Verstappen-triggered exit clause into his terms. While Verstappen's current deal runs until 2028, it reportedly contains a performance-based escape clause that could make him available to other teams next year. Rosberg, however, suggested Russell has more pressing matters to focus on than trying to negotiate a hypothetical Verstappen-related escape route. Now, it's George doing the kind of reverse to Toto. It's like he's fighting Toto with his own medicine. George apparently is just not happy with a couple of terms in the contract. George is a Mercedes junior, so certainly he won't be on a Lando Norris-level salary, by far and away not, and George feels Lando is equal to him. George by any means can drive at Lando's level and can win races and championships if he has the car. So of course, he will feel a little bit of that's not quite fair, that I'm so far away from Lando's salary. As Formula One's financial ecosystem swells with big money sponsorships pouring into team budgets, the role of drivers is stretching well beyond their time behind the wheel. Nico Rosberg noted that these lucrative deals ramp up the off-track workload, effectively transforming top-tier racers into full-fledged brand ambassadors. And then also, there's things like sponsor days, he continued. Nowadays, these teams have so many sponsors, paying so much money, and the only way for a team to give back to a sponsor is, of course, logo space, which is limited. And they want driver time. They want their customers to be able to meet George Russell, and so they're using the drivers so much. I'm not allowed to say it's painful for us, because everybody watching will be like, shut up, you earn so much money. All you have to do is go to a sponsor event, shake some hands, take some pictures, and I'm saying it's painful, but it is really painful. So George, also there, will try and reduce. The number can go up to like 60 days or something, 60 in 365 days. That's a lot of days, and some of those 60 days are split into half days. So it can actually be like 80 days. That's a lot, like when all we want to do is go to the Nordschleife and go racing in GT3 cars. Kimi Antonelli, George Russell's teammate, is in the same uncertain position. Toto Wolff recently shared an update as they weigh up their future driver lineup. We're continuing with both of them, of course. And with George, he has a few things where we want to optimize some of the traveling and the marketing days, how many hours we're putting in. He's an experienced driver, and for us, it's always important to talk about it. We want to have the best performance of the drivers, and I think we've given both of them quite a strain with marketing activities and media activities, and this is how we recalibrate. Though the Italian rookie has shown flashes of brilliance, snagging pole in the Miami Grand Prix sprint and celebrating his first Formula One podium with third in the Canadian Grand Prix, his debut season has also brought its share of setbacks. Toto Wolff had been one of Kimi Antonelli's most vocal supporters, yet after Antonelli's 9th place finish at the Italian Grand Prix, the Austrian didn't mince words, calling the performance underwhelming. Underwhelming this weekend. Underwhelming. You can't put the car in the gravel bed and expect to be there. All of the race was underwhelming. It doesn't change anything on my support and confidence in his future, because I believe he's going to be very, very, very good. But today was underwhelming, Wolff explained. Nico Rosberg was taken aback by the sudden shift in tone from the Austrian Toto Wolff. It's a surprising one because at the moment, the only choice you really have is to just give Kimi the most time possible in the most calm way possible. And that means also not criticizing him publicly, Rosberg explained during the Sky Sports F1 show podcast. And so this change of tone from Toto for the first time ever, usually there's a reason behind it. Toto is very calculated in his comments. Perhaps he's wanting to put some pressure on Kimi and his family to try a different approach, modify their approach, review their approach. But the fact of the matter is, Kimi is a generational talent. We all know that, but it's more difficult for him than we all thought so far. And it's a bit strange that it's still so difficult. If you look at the statistics in racing, it's 19-0 to George, and in qualifying it's 17-2 to George. And if you put in mistakes, it would be like 15-1 probably. It's a really hard one, an unfortunate one, because we all want him to go well. He can go well, we know that. But the clock starts to tick at some point also. It's a tough one. Give him the contract, because you need to give him whatever you can at the moment, just to help him with his confidence. Anyway, in F1 you know that worst case, you can still get out of that then during the winter. Obviously you don't have to say that now, but I would also consider that. Antonelli has pinpointed Mercedes' misjudged suspension upgrade as the culprit behind the mid-season slump he faced in his rookie Formula One campaign. The downturn began when Mercedes introduced a new rear suspension at his home race, the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix in Imola, a change that also dented George Russell's form. Since reverting to the original launch spec suspension before the summer break, Antonelli has found himself back in a far more competitive groove with the Mercedes W16. The thing is, in the first 6 races of the season, I've had basically the same car. We brought very minor upgrades, so the car was very consistent. Having the same car really helps you to build your confidence and understanding its behavior. I arrived at the 6th race of the season in Miami with great confidence. I was able to build up and qualify to express the potential. It was great. Then we moved on to the new suspension, and that's when the struggle came. Right after Miami, I went to Imola with really high hopes, because I was coming off from a good weekend. But then with the new suspension, I struggled massively. I started to really struggle with my driving and having to really chase a way of driving that was not natural for me. I think on my side, I couldn't really adapt that well, and that's why I struggled so much. When I reflect, it's very clear. The first 6 races, I've had the same car. Since we went on the new suspension, I've just lost confidence more and more. Now that we're back on the car at the start of the year, that hopefully will help me to build that kind of confidence again. Mercedes stands at a crossroads. Contracts dangling, tensions rising, futures uncertain. If you want to see how this drama unfolds, hit subscribe and join us for the next chapter.